stream and I was fast asleep. Like, there is no excuse. There is no explanation other than my body clock is completely messed up. And so I thought, let's try and get a couple of hours, because had something to eat, set all the streams up, had a couple of hours to get some sleep before the stream. So I went to bed, and then I literally woke up about 10 minutes ago, and I was like, oh my god, I've missed the member stream. So I don't know. I don't know if my alarm's gone off and I've slept through it. I don't know if my alarm hasn't gone off. I don't know what's happened in that regard. It's irrelevant because I didn't make the stream, so I do apologize. What I'm going to do is I'm actually going to do the member stream. I'm not going to cheat the members by not doing a member stream. We'll still do the members stream, but we'll do it after Evolve. So Evolve is in about 50 odd minutes. Then we will do a member stream after Evolve ends. So we're here for 50 minutes. We'll chat away. Then we'll do Evolve. Then we'll do the member stream. So I'm not going to cheat the members, but I do apologize for messing the members around. So yeah, pretty out of it, honestly. It was a pretty wild journey back. It was a pretty... It wasn't, I would say, a long journey, but it was through the night. As people know, I was traveling during NXT. So when NXT was on, I was flying, actually. I was up in the air. So it was kind of a night flight for us over here in Europe. Normally, you know, it's 1 o'clock in the morning, whatever. It was a night flight, so travelled over the night. So by the time we got back, didn't sleep on the plane because it really was not very comfortable. I was trying to, but oh god, the seats were really cramped, and like I had nowhere to put my head. Like if you put your head back on that plane, it was like here. And it just wasn't very comfortable. And if you put your head forward, it felt like it was here. And there was just nowhere to put my head. What I needed was one of those pillows that, you know, you could sort of rest your head against. I didn't have one. I've never owned one. But after that flight, I definitely feel like it's an investment that needs to be made, because I just had nowhere to put my head. So I was trying to doze, and then I kept like waking up again. So yeah, I've missed out on a night's sleep. My sleep was a bit rubbish anyway. Come back and I've just overslept. So again, I apologise profusely with all of my heart to the members. And as I said, I'll make it up to you by, still doing the stream. We won't skip the stream. We'll actually do it afterwards. James said, I only got to watch NXT tonight. I think I saw a tweet from you earlier, actually, where you was talking to Nails in NY, where you said you'd fallen asleep and woke up and you'd like missed the show. Yeah, I don't know. Maybe the heat as well. I mean, I've come back to the UK and I'm shocked at how hot it is. Like, it is sunbathing weather already here in the UK. So, like, my room was really warm. So, I'm not trying to make excuses. I've completely overslept. But I'm just painting the picture as to how this has all kind of happened. So, traveling through the night, trying to catch up on sleep. Really warm bedroom where I've kind of laid down. And I'm in an oven. But I think, like, as soon as I've gone off, that's it. That's it. I'm dead to the world. So, yes. Anyway, we're back. You don't want to keep hearing about me explain about my day, but we are back. I think the best thing to do is to just talk about whatever you want to talk about. When it comes to wrestling news today, I'm really out the loop, to be honest. Traveling and then like coming back and trying to unpack, have something to eat, having a little sleep. It means that I'm just really out of it, news-wise. I did see an injury to Chad Gable. I did see some news about an injury to Chad Gable. In fact, though, what I'm going to do is I'm just going to take this opportunity just to have a look at Wrestling Observer and just have a look at that, because I always go to them for the headlines. Let's have a look, see what the headlines are. So it says, Hulk Hogan-themed bar to open in Madison Square Garden. Okay. I've got to think that's probably from Hogan. I can't imagine WWE are doing that. Bobby Lashley is announced for an indie show in France. Chad Gable is injured and set for surgery. Yeah, I feel like this might be the big news. Gable confronted Penta backstage, and the segment ended with Penta giving him a signature arm breaker. But according to reports, this might have been done to have written Gable off TV. Earlier this week, Bodyslam.net reported that Gable is legit injured, although the exact nature of the injury is not known. On Wednesday, PW Insider reported that Gable is scheduled to undergo shoulder surgery, and there is no timetable for his return. Unfortunately, Fightful followed up noting that El Grande Americano, a mass wrestler who some alleges Gable is also injured and expected to be out for the exact same length of time. So it looks like, yeah, he's injured. And as I said, I did see that doing the rounds earlier. I didn't know the details of it. Alba Fire involved in a speed tournament. Netflix reveals premiere date. Oh, so we know the date for WWE Unreal. It's going to be July 29th. So it makes its debut on Tuesday, July 29th. Season 1 will consist of 5 episodes. Each one is going to be 50 minutes long. I cannot wait for the show. I really cannot wait for the show. I think it is going to be so insightful. I am interested in doing a watch along for it. It surely won't be on at the same time as NXT. So I don't quite know how that's going to work. Is it on before? Is it on after? I'm guessing before. I mean, I don't know if it's got an actual time. It just says it's on Tuesday, July 29th. So they're not going to put it on the same time as NXT. Of course not. So I don't know. If it's the hour before, we already start an hour before anyway. So if it's the hour before, then obviously we can watch it and talk about it. It'd be better if it's the hour after. If it's the hour after, then we could stick around and do that. I don't know. I'll have to see what time that is. I am interested in doing that because I think it's going to be such an interesting show, because that show is all about the creative process, and I think that's going to be really, really interesting. Some people are really down on it. We've had this conversation before. Some people think that it's a little bit too far, too revealing, yeah? A little bit me on a night out. It's a little bit too revealing. But I think that it's going to be absolutely fascinating. I can't wait to see it. The only thing is those shows don't make for great streams because you're having to listen a lot. And so they don't make for brilliant streams, if I'm telling the truth. But there's been enough people asking if we would do it, and I would absolutely do it. NXT spoilers for July 1st. Oh, was it taped? Was it? Do you know, I've missed 2 weeks of NXT and I haven't seen them. I missed last week's Evolve and I've not caught up. It's all on a massive giant to-do list. So I have no idea what went down last week. But yeah, I'm a bit out the loop with Evolve. I'm looking forward to getting back into it, honestly, and we'll see where we are. John Cena reflects on his halfway point of his retirement tour, and Kevin Owens shares a neck surgery update. He said it's been a frustrating process. He says, we're waiting till mid-July to do the surgery. Hopefully it's just a normal neck fusion, but it might not be. We don't know. Owens said that he's not been in much pain, but noted that the last week had been difficult. He said, I feel fine and my neck is fine. I'm not in pain. I have no symptoms of what you would expect with someone that's got a spinal cord injury. In the last week, for some reason, the symptoms all came in one shot. Every symptom you would expect, like pain in the neck, stuff going down the arms, legs not really responding. It's all been happening. Wow. It's been effing brutal. Wow. So wow. In an interview with Before the Bell, Kathy Kelly revealed she and Owens had got involved in a dune buggy accident. Yes. Owens described the incident. So is he saying that played a part? I didn't save her life. I didn't save her arms, but I tried to make sure she was safe, and then both of us experienced this incredible thing, which is we were upside down in a golf cart. There's sand pouring down our faces, our ears, everything, and all we hear is Jamie Noble going, my ribs, my ribs. Yeah, I do remember that last year. I didn't put the pieces together that might have played a significant part in an injury. I don't know if that's what he's saying. The article just seemed to jump to that. So I don't know if he's saying that played a part, but I suppose it could have, couldn't it? Suppose it could have. Okay, rather than sit here and just read Wrestling Observer, those were the headlines. So let's get into the chat and see kind of where you guys are. So Matteo said, Daze, I've been gone for a week because I was on a cruise. I've not watched wrestling since SmackDown a couple of weeks ago. I was able to watch NXT yesterday. I'm so happy that Cross has got a PLE match. Matteo, shout out to you, my friends. Yes, it's great news. Everyone's really pleased. He deserves it. It's a bit strange that we go from nothing to a PLE match, but no complaints, of course. Yeah, Karrion Kross deserves this opportunity to show what he can do. I hope he kills it. I hope he smashes it out the park. I hope that it is just a great match and a brilliant moment and something that the fans can kind of hold up and say, look, we've been telling you all along, this is what this guy can do. And I think he will do that. I mean, look, they're putting him in there with Sammy. And, Sammy is always capable of delivering fantastic matches. So he couldn't ask for a better dance partner right now, honestly. I think Sammy is someone that is capable of really bringing out the drama in a match, really capable of delivering the match that Karrion needs. So, yeah, I agree. Fantastic news, and I hope they kill it. Christopher, shout out to you. Unreal is going to be on my birthday, says Nathan. Happy birthday to me. Happy birthday to you, buds, for Tuesday coming. James said, Daze, have you ever had a trapped nerve? I've got one currently, and the pain is horrendous. It was so bad on Monday that I could not even get into bed. Slightly better now, though. I've never had one diagnosed, so I'm going to say no, right? Because the only thing I had was like something around here that really, whenever I moved it, or like I was turning my heads or anything around this kind of area, anything that was there was just awful. I remember asking my partner at the time, and she said that it felt like it was symptoms were like a trapped nerve. She'd had something similar diagnosed as a trapped nerve, but I mean that's all I'm going off. So I can't say yes. So I'm going to say no. I'm going to say I haven't, but I know enough about it from having that conversation and what she told me to know that it's flipping horrible. So I don't know quite how you relieve it. Is it like it's probably massages, James? It's probably massages, but is this your way of asking me to come round with the gloves and the baby oil and, do you know what I mean? Get really stuck in there. Is that what this is? I think I can guess where the trapped nerve is, actually. I think I can guess where the trapped nerve is. I bet I'm going to just guess at lower part of the body, isn't it? Yeah? It's lower part of the body. And it's a trapped nerve, and you need wrestling magic hands days to come round. Yeah, I know what this is. Oh, bless him. He's sat there, and he's thought, how do I word this? As soon as Daze is back, I'm gonna see if I can get him to come round with his magic wonder in hands, and I just don't know how to word it. And I think you've done very well. Honestly, I think you've done excellent there. You should be really pleased. You should be really pleased, and you should be really proud that you found a way of sneaking that under the radar, Because I did start talking at first about trapped nerves and giving a bit of a story, and then it dawned on me, no, look, you've got to think through the lens of a pervert. Why would he be saying this on a public stream? And all of a sudden, all of a sudden? Because you aim for the stars, don't you? If you aim for the stars, land on the moon, no problem, right? So, or aim for the moon, land on the stars, no problem. So he's come on, and obviously he wants magic hands. Yeah, that's what he's looking for. But if anyone else in the community is like, you know, James, I'm only down the road from you. Yeah, do you know what I mean? I might be busy, or Magic Hands might be busy, but someone else in the community could go. So, do you know what I mean? That's why you would say it so publicly. It's very good. It's very clever. It's honestly, it's going to take me a while to get back in the swing of things so that I pick up on these things a little bit quicker. I actually answered that like it was a legitimate question. That's on me, guys. That's on me. Mr. Dell Jr., hello. Said, Daze, non-wrestling question. Oh. Hope you're well, Mr. Dell Jr. Mr. Dell Jr. said, what are we thoughts about people on the internet that act rude and they don't say anything positive? And this mean character. I don't know what you mean by that bit. Some wrestling YouTubers are like this. Well, I can't really speak on wrestling YouTubers because I'm not lying when I say this. Like, I really don't interact in that world. That's not a world that I ever venture in. I mean, I've just been like away for a week, and I've been on YouTube and watching bits and bobs. And of course, I don't know if he's around. I think I saw him wrestle with Andy. I'd always watch Wrestle with Andy, of course. If there's any wrestling YouTuber that I would, wave the flag for, Wrestle with Andy would be that guy. Dave in real life does excellent work as well. You know, there's people in our community that I would support, and really, I just don't really venture past that, honestly. I just don't venture past that. I've said before, when it comes to opinions, I know how I feel. And if I get so many of your opinions when we do opinion videos and everything, I just don't feel like I need to watch opinion pieces and know what other like YouTubers are saying, because their opinions, just as like my opinion, is no more relevant than your opinion, right? Or anyone's opinion. So everyone's opinion. So I get so many opinions. I don't need to know what some boomer YouTuber is saying, yeah? So I don't need to go to them for that. I don't need to go to them for news, because, to be honest, a lot of news comes from the same place. It comes from Sean Ross Sapp. It comes from, the same places. So, honestly, you get to the point where you just don't really need to go to them or I don't need to go to them for much. I could be missing out on some really fun stuff as a result. I have no idea, but it's just not part of my viewing. So when it comes to other YouTubers, wrestling YouTubers, it's no shades. I have no shade to throw. The only thing I would say is it's just not a world that I interact in. So I would say if there was people that were rude consistently, I think it's a bit of a battle that I think everyone faces, where you don't share the same opinion as people. And I think if you really believe in what you're saying, you're always going to defend your opinion. And then that can come across as rude. So I don't know. It's hard to know the examples. It's hard to know about what's been said. It's hard to know if it's where it's coming from. Is it just that they're a rude person, or is it that they're just passionately defending their position? Because honestly, like sometimes there's some things that get said online which obviously really can wind you up the wrong way. For example, I put a tweet out the other day. I was responding to someone and I said, I don't think they're going to move Saudi, because we've sort of been in this position before where there's been problems in the Middle East and we've still gone, right? We've still gone. So if I use that as a benchmark, I know that we've had a bit of trouble, maybe not to this scale, but we still went. And, there was the hostage situation. People were like, we should never go back. And of course we went back, right? That was where the Saudis wouldn't let the plane take off because of, I don't know what the issue was. I think Vince had got into a bit of an argument with them over money. And they, closed the airspace or something. I mean, I don't know if the full details of that have ever truly come out. So, yeah, but that was a big concerning moment. So, to me, a war or, missiles being chucked around that didn't involve Saudi. I know that it was to the north, and I know that it's close and people aren't comfortable. I understand all of that. But we're talking about, will they stop the show from going on? And my honest opinion was no. I don't think they will. I think the show will still go ahead, right? And some of the responses I got were not people going, oh, I think you're wrong. I think they will cancel it, right? But we'll see. It wasn't things like that. It was people like, you're an idiot. If you think they're not going to cancel this, you're an idiot. It's that kind of response. That kind of where there's no respect being shown to you, that you're just like, do you know what I mean? I could understand clapping back to those people because in a way you've not been shown any respect, so why show respect back, The respectful thing to do is to just keep your mouth shut, isn't it? Because you are always going to face those kinds of people. You are always, whatever opinion put out, you will always have those kinds of responses. But I think the truth is no one wants to share an opinion and have it laughed at. No one wants to share an opinion and be called an idiot for it. Yeah, everyone wants to avoid that. So, I try to keep it constructive with my feedback. I try to find a way of just focusing on, here is fine. Yeah. When we're talking here, we're just chatting. The way I talk to you guys here is like we're down the pub. We're having a pint, and I would talk to you the exact same way. Yeah, that way. Like we're friends down a pub. That's how I treat this one. It's not quite the same on Twitter because sometimes you're talking to people that just you've never encountered before. They're not people that have got goodwill. You lot are here because you choose to be. And I've got a feeling that us chatting, we're all coming from a good place, hopefully, yeah? I'm coming from a good place, you're coming from a good place. If you share a thought, it's coming from a good place. It's clearly not the same on Twitter where you've got just complete random people stepping into comments, and you've got specific trolls as well that are looking to just troll. So it's hard, honestly. It's hard. I think that it's, messages can get misconstrued. I think you can catch people on off days. I think there are people out there that are just negative. And it's very hard to know what category people would fit into. I can't sit here and tell you about, my thoughts about other wrestling YouTubers, if they're moody, if they just had an off day. I don't know. I honestly don't know. That's one you'll have to make your own minds up on. But what I can tell you is that certainly when it comes to social media, I think it is easy to fall into the trap of constantly defending your position, which could come across as negative, or maybe responding to some negativity, and maybe that spills over into the next comments. Do you know what I mean? If you've just had someone that's been a bit trollish and they've put you in a bad mindset, maybe the next constructive comments that come along are not going to get the friendliest response, right? Because all of a sudden now you're in a bad headspace. It's toxic, honestly. It's not a brilliant place, social media. I find this a much better forum because I think whenever I'm talking here, you can see my body language, you can hear the tone, you can probably understand the context of what I'm saying better. There's many occasions I'll send a tweet and I think to myself, that sounds a bit sharp reading it back. That's not the tone. I don't think that's the tone I was going for, I don't think that's quite conveyed what I mean. So I think it's really difficult, is my honest answer. I think it's very difficult. I think social media is difficult. But, I'm not going to defend people either. If you've got someone that's just constantly negative, constantly down, constantly moaning, if you're seeing a pattern, then maybe there's a bit more to it, So, sounds like you had a bad experience, Mr. Dell Jr., and I am sorry to hear about that. Because no one needs grief in their life, do they? No one needs grief. You don't need grief. I don't need grief. No one No one needs grief. William, hello. Shout out to you. Stone Cold Fella said, what does one dude asking, why do I watch wrestling? Because it's fake. I made a video saying, what do you like to watch? Do you watch Teletubbies or Barney or Gilligan's Island? Says Stone Cold Fella. You get that a lot, don't you? That why you watch wrestling. That thing. I mean, I've said before, to me, that is just people saying that they don't understand. But wording it in such a sassy way. You know? Like they said that basically they're saying, I don't understand what enjoyment you get from wrestling. And rather than saying, can you explain that to me? They won't say that. They will say, you watch wrestling? Isn't that that's for kids? Like, or something like this. Like, they just don't get it, right? You just don't get it. It's a little bit like saying, what, you watch musicals? Like, why? What do you get from that? Like, that sucks. And it's like, musicals do suck. We do know that to be true, right? I mean, that's actually a bad example because musicals do suck. But you're basically saying that you don't understand the appeal. You don't get it, yeah? So really, whenever anyone kind of says that, immediately I'm just gauging if it's worth having the conversation. To be honest with you, I probably wouldn't even respond unless they are showing like a degree or there is something in the message where they genuinely want to know. Like if I was out with someone and they found out I watched wrestling and they were like, really, you watch wrestling? I've never watched it personally. What do you enjoy about that? I mean, that is a very different, it's the same question, but in a very different manner, isn't it? A different context. Oh, happily engage in those people. Straight away, I'll happily engage in those people. But yeah, when you've got someone that's adding a little extra layer of sass on top, not interested in those conversations, really, to be honest. So it's like, I used to respond to those. I don't respond anymore. Akeem said, I can't wait to get back to Europe and get to the pub and have a pint. Actually, do you know what? We got back really late. In fact, my mom, we were back at like 5, 6 in the morning. My mom just stayed up. She didn't go to bed. She's just stayed up and, you know, spent the day kind of catching up on bits and around the house. My dad went to bed. He had to go to the dentist, which is quite a journey, actually. So he went to bed for a few hours, got up, went to the dentist. By the time he came back, like, we ended up going to the shop to pick up a few bits, having some food. We went to the local pub for some food and then came back, and then I went to bed for a few hours and then overslept, and apologies to the members again. Yeah. So yeah, I actually went out to the pub to have some food, and had a beer, right? Had a beer, and it was flat. It was horrible. I really did not enjoy it, but the bar was pretty busy, so I was like, I'm not gonna take it back. I'll just drink it. It was just flat. Yeah, I don't know. Sometimes, like, if the glasses haven't been cleaned properly, like, it can just kill a beer. And I don't know, perhaps like the beer was like coming to at the end of the barrel, or who knows, but it was just dead. So I was like, oh God. But it was nice to not have to mess around and, you know, whatever. Just went, got some food, and then, you know, came back and had a few hours, and definitely I could do with a little bit longer. So I think my plan, I'm completely out the loop today. My plan is hopefully get back to normal tomorrow. I'm going to try and stay up tonight, actually, and see if I can get my body back into some sort of routine, get my body clock back into some sort of system. But, yeah, I'm a bit out the loop, honestly. But I need to get ready for this weekend. Obviously, it's Night of Champions, the streams to set up. No one's seen tonight because I'm just completely out of it. But if I can get back on it for tomorrow, then I can get one done tomorrow. And then boom, we're up and running. I need to get a predictions video done tomorrow as well. Like, just back now, straight into the deep end. So would be lovely to have a day or two to just kind of, do you know what I mean, get back into the swing of things. But No. No. So there we go. That's that. Right. Let's go down. Macho Man beats Rick Rude for the world title. Piper, $1 Million Man take the tag team titles. Mark it down. You've heard it here first, says Dean. Robert said, Daze, my brother used to say to me, why are you watching people cuddling each other? And I would laugh it off. I do that just for fun. Says Robert. Robert, shout out to you. Yeah, I mean, when you've got a message like that, why are you watching people cuddle each other, you know that the person's not coming from a great headspace. I'm sure he was only joking, but you know that the person's not coming from a great head. You know the question isn't that legitimate. So yeah. Right, super chats. I don't think we've had much, but Jake01 has become a supporter, so appreciate it. Dr. Peen, the penis trauma surgeon. Oh my God, I'm so grateful we have one of those in our community. I saw a picture of you on X Sans Beanie and it blew my nards off, said Dr. Peena. Yeah, to be honest, as I've said before, like the wearing of the beanie is not really anything like, you know, I don't live and die by it. It was just done at first so that it was easy. I've said before, I used to go to work. I used to put loads of gel and stuff in my hair, product in my hair. I used to have it shaved at the sides and it would be long. And it would go like back like that. And it looked good, so I thought it looked good. I really liked it, but it took a little bit of work in the morning to get it like looking smart. And honestly, after the hard day of like working in retail, used to do like 10-hour days, I would, you know, get back and my hair would not be looking as good. So it's one of those where, do I do it again or do I just chuck a beanie on? And honestly, it was a no-brainer, was it? You put a beanie on. So really, from the start of the channel, that's why I did it. And, you know, there's other times where I would not be at work. I'd be on a holiday or I'd be on a day off. And I would have had videos ready. Like, I would have video ideas ready. So it's like, okay, on Tuesday, I've got my day off. What I'm going to do is I'm going to record 5 videos and I'm going to try and do that. And, you know, it was literally wake up and go. So again, do I want to wake up and sort my hair and gel it all back and all that stuff? And then do I want to do that when I've been wearing a beanie most nights anyway? No. So, you know, again, early stages of the channel, it was all out of necessity, really, of quickly getting videos done, not wanting to mess around with doing my hair. And so, you know, that took us all the way up to like 2018. In 2018, that's when I started doing this like permanently. It's been 7 years now that I've been doing this like permanently. And it just carried on. There wasn't really a need to stop. There wasn't really a need to, because the channel had been going 2 years by that point. So there wasn't a need to kind of move away from it. But it's like, you know, away from the channel, do I wear it? No, I only ever wear it on the channel. I'm not like someone that like is a 24/7 beanie wearer. I only ever wear it on streams, and it literally just lives on a table. Like, it's normally around here, and just before we start, I'd grab it and put it on. Actually, if the stream started a little earlier, if for some reason I made a slight mistake and I pressed go live a bit early, you would see me sat here not wearing a beanie, like pretty much every time. So that's that. So your mind might have been blown, but it's actually not that mind-blowing. So whenever I did meet and greets or whatever, you know, I didn't even think to really take one. There's loads of pictures of me doing like Wrestling Shop Live where I don't have one, because I just didn't even think about it. I didn't even think. I wasn't, you know, I had to do my hair that day. I wanted to look presentable that day, so I just didn't have the beanie on. I just sorted my hair out instead. So yeah, lots. You'll find lots of pictures of me without it, honestly. Vic said, "Good to be here as always. Love, hope Egypt was nice." Oh, Vic, I got to tell that story, haven't I? Oh, I forgot about that. Yeah, my aborted landing, my abandoned landing. Oh my God. I'll try and quickly tell it. I'll probably flesh it out. Like maybe members will talk about it in a bit more detail, but maybe we'll talk about a bit more detail on Wrestling Escape Pod tomorrow. But the gist of the story was that the flight was at night, and it wasn't the best, most comfortable flight. I found another piece of information out today that I didn't know about it, and it sort of changed my thinking on it, right? As soon as I got on the plane, I was tired, right? Because it was late at night. We were going back. So I just put my headphones on. And I literally sat in the chair. And my dad had to like nudge me when it was time to do the safety thing, right? So I listened to that. But really, as people were getting on the plane and the pilot was making his announcements, I wasn't listening, right? I was listening to music. But as soon as the safety thing happened, I listened. But apparently, and I only found this out today, the pilot did say at the start of the flight, I'm captain, blah, blah, blah. My co-pilot is blah, blah, blah. Our co-pilot is actually going to be flying the flights tonight for us. And I don't know exactly the wording, but apparently he did make it clear that the co-pilot was going to be the one that was going to be flying, right? I don't know why he felt the need to tell us that. But apparently that was one of the announcements at the start of the flight, which I completely missed. And so, anyway, took off. Takeoff seemed fine. The only thing I would say about the flight is I actually didn't find it a very comfortable flight, because I always find whenever you fly, the plane goes up, and then when it's up, it kind of reaches its altitudes, and then it sort of just hits a lovely groove. It's like, you don't really feel like you're flying. It's just going along, and it's, do you know what I mean? Like, you could be in a waiting room. You could be anywhere, really. It's just flat. You know, of course, you can hit turbulence. I'm not saying it's flat the whole way. I'm just saying that when it's leveled off, it's just get up, go to the bathroom, lady comes along with the trolley. It's smooth. It's just smooth. You go above the clouds, you go above the weather, really. And, turbulence is a problem up there, but it's smooth. I would say that for a good 2 hours, this was not smooth. It never really flattened out. So the plane went up and it got to, its altitude, and it would just be like sort of bobbing around a little bit. It never settled. It never got settled, and it bothered me a little bit, because I was like, I don't really ever remember being on a flight where the plane is just sort of just constantly moving. Like, I know that sounds weird, but like normally the best way to word it is it hits a groove, it flattens out, it's smooth sailing, and of course you'll have the odd turbulence, but really 99% of it is pretty chilled. This was just constantly doing something, it never settled. And I remember, like, during the flight thinking, oh, I don't like this. This isn't like any flight I've really been on before, and I wasn't keen on it. So, I mean, to be honest, I don't think the co-pilot played a part in that, because I'm guessing you just turn on the autopilot, and I'm guessing you turn the autopilot on and that does it. So I'm not going to say it was the co-pilot's fault. But an interesting piece of information that apparently the pilot said it was the co-pilot that was going to do the flying of this, right? So anyway, that did eventually settle. After a couple of hours, it did eventually settle down, and, it was smooth from there. But it was a good few hours of it just constantly doing, not big movements. Sometimes there was the odd thing, but it was just constantly doing something. I'm like, sat on the plane like, don't like this. But it did settle. And anyway, flight was about 6 hours. So we approached for landing. I was feeling good by that point. The early issues had gone out of my head. and start to kind of make our descent, right? And as the plane is coming down, you can see obviously the ground's getting closer. It's dark, horrible when you go through the clouds. When you go through the clouds, you've got the light on the wing flashing. You can't see anything below. You can see a bit of a light flashing because it's coming from the wing. If there is any rain or moisture around, it might start like appearing on the window, and it's sort of, you feel like you're going through hell really as you kind of come in, because you got flashing lights, there's a bit of moisture, you can't see anything, like it's all, it's not fun. But the plane's coming down, and then eventually you come through the clouds and you can see the grounds, you can see all the cars and the houses, you can gauge how high up you are. I always feel a bit better then. Always feel better when I'm like, okay, we're actually a bit lower than I thought we were. I'm not afraid of flying, but I am someone that's grateful to be back on the ground. Yeah, I don't find it an enjoyable process. I'm not someone that loves flying. I'll do it out of necessity. That's my relationship with flying, right? So we're coming down, and I can see all the cars and all this stuff, right? And we're coming down. And we've had the seatbelt sign on. Ladies and gentlemen, please get ready for landing. Everything normal, right? Coming down, right? And as we're coming down, no word of a lie, I reckon we were 2-3 seconds from hitting the ground, like normal landing, yeah? We've seen the runway. I'm literally looking at, like, windsocks. I'm seeing the runway on the floor. I'm seeing like vehicles at eye line. Like we're on the ground basically, right? We're pretty much on the ground. I don't think we'd actually touched down. It was like 2 seconds away from happening. Yeah, I would say we were ground level. Like I'm just literally waiting for I'm just waiting for that. I'm looking out of the window and everything is, we're on the ground. Right? We're on the ground. And all of a sudden, the engines fire back up. And we start going up again. And it was like, what the... It was, honestly, that was like pretty scary stuff. Because it completely came out of nowhere. And I have never, ever been in a plane where they have aborted. When you think of an aborted landing, you think the aborted landing is just as you're at the top circling, that like, ladies and gentlemen, we were just about to try and land, but such and such has happened. We're going to try again in a moment. And maybe you'd circle around. No. This is plane comes down, seconds from touchdown, fires jets back up, and up you go again, right? And it was such it effed with my head. It really effed with my head, because immediately your head goes, nah, we weren't meant to do that. Immediately you go, I might not know much about flying, but I know that was not meant to happen. I know there's a problem. I am on a plane that has a problem. And you go, oh my God, mate, it is not fun at all. I so wish I'd filmed it. But I wasn't filming. Why would I film a landing? Why would I film a plane landing, right? But if I had, just as a little, back in England, you would have seen the plane basically coming down to runway level and then jets firing back up again. And then up you go. I didn't even know a commercial plane could do that. I had absolutely no idea that a plane could get that close to the runway, obviously slow down, because you slow down when you're landing, and just before you hit the runway, fire the jets back up again, right, and take off. I mean, I didn't even know a plane could do that. If you think about when a plane takes off, it has to really go quite a distance on the runway to build speed up and then lift, yeah? So in my mind, a plane that's coming down, slowing down to land, no way did I think you could just fire the jets and go up. I thought that was like fighter, war pilot stuff. I didn't know that like a commercial jet could do that. So, you came down and about to hit the runway, puts the jets back on, and then up we go again, right? And it's quite a steep climb, actually. Like, not like that, obviously. It's fairly normal in comparison, but it just feels steep. Perhaps it's because it comes out of nowhere, right? You go, oh my God. And then your head's like, what's happening? How high are we climbing here? Like, have we got enough fuel? What's the problem? If it's a landing gear issue, is it going to be better the second time? Like, maybe no. And your brain just starts racing away. Like, your head just starts racing away. The stewardess was amazing, because immediately she was on the tannoy, she was like, bing bong. Ladies and gentlemen, you might have noticed that the captain has aborted the landing there. This is nothing to worry about, absolutely operational. And the captain, I'm sure, will be in touch with us in a moment just to let us know of the reasonings why. And that's what she said, right? Nothing to worry about, purely operational. It's like, I'm going to call you up on something there, love. If the plane comes in to land and then goes, nope, I think that there's something to worry about. I think there's a reason. My dad gave no Fs. My dad was like, there could be a million reasons why that's just happened. And I was like, yeah, and I don't like any of them. I'm not happy with any of the reasons why we've just done this. So, yeah, the most shocking thing to me is how close to the ground you get before it goes up again, right? So I so wish I'd filmed it. I so wish I had it. I so wish I had the announcement and all of that stuff. But I just was not filming the landing. I was not filming as we were coming down. And honestly, by the time when they're going back up, the last thing on my mind is, where's my phone? I need to record this, right? I just think I'm a rubbish YouTuber. The first thing on my mind is, oh my God, I'm going to die, right? The first thing on my mind was not, oh my God, I need a camera, right? So we go back up again. And basically we climb for quite a bit and we go like quite high again. And, we're up in the air and we're waiting and we're waiting and we're waiting. And there is no message from the pilot. No word comes across. Waiting and waiting and waiting. And all of a sudden I notice the same, we kind of then start to descend again. And I notice a lot of the same buildings because I'd watched the landing the first time, right? And I noticed like a car park and I noticed a road and things. I'm like, right, okay, he's basically trying again here. And we come in and honestly, there was no announcement. There was no words. As we come in, I'm like, I don't know how this is going to go. I mean, I don't know if I think if they would want you to brace, they would obviously say brace, wouldn't they? I mean, they tell you that at the start. So I was a little comforted by the fact that the pilot hadn't said, we're going to have to make an emergency landing, brace for impact or anything like that, right? I was very comforted that those words had not been used. So in my mind, I felt a little better as we were coming in and that had not been said. And we go again and then we land and everything was fine. Right. As we're on the ground, the captain came over the tannoy then and he was like, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Manchester Airport. You might have noticed that we had a little extra drama. The reasoning for this was because as we were coming into land, cloud came across the runway that was so thick, we actually lost visibility of the runway. Even though we could have still attempted a landing, it was the decision was made that it would be safer for us to abort the landing, wait for better visibility. So we actually lifted back off, did a go around, and visibility was much better the second time. And, a little extra fun for all of us there, or something along those lines. But we didn't get that explanation until we were actually down on the ground. So your head kind of thinks about a million different things. And then immediately I was like, I wonder how often this is. And so I Googled it, like pretty much immediately. It was one of the first things I did when I landed. And I Googled it, and apparently it happens like once, twice, 3 times every 1,000 flights. It's common enough where others obviously will have experienced it on a, fairly regular basis, but it's not that common. So it's like 1-2 times every 1,000. I read a thing where someone said he'd been flying regular for 20 odd years. It happened twice to him. So that kind of puts it into perspective. He flew regular and it happened twice. So, yeah, once, twice every 1,000 flights, the landing has to be aborted. And they were saying some of the reasons could be landing gear not coming down, could be that there's debris or an animal. I didn't even think about that, but an animal kind of coming onto the runway. Or something along those lines, or debris, or, you know, they've got the approach wrong, pilot error. But it wasn't until after that my parents told me that the co-captain had flown that I was like, oh, I wonder if what we were told was true. I wonder if what we were told was, you know, because you can't really say, sorry about that. The co-pilot was doing the landing and completely messed it up, right? You can't really say that to a load of people, because then, of course, people rightfully are going to be, you know, you're basically using me as a guinea pig. You're basically using me. I know that pilots have got to learn, but, like, if it was pilot error, then I suppose they've got a degree of ownership there. I suppose there is a degree of blame of, you owe me, you know, dry cleaning bill because I've just pooped myself severely. So, like, you know, I don't think they would say that. I don't think they could say that. So I wonder if the visibility line is just the line that they use to sort of, you know, not have questions. I don't know. I don't know if that was true, or if it was that the co-pilot landed the plane. Because apparently at the start, he did say the co-pilot was going to be, like, overseeing this flight. And I don't know if the co-pilot was learning. I mean, it is an interesting one, isn't it? Because every pilot at some point has got to do be responsible for their first landing. You can do it a million times in the simulator, but at some point you've got to be responsible for a landing and a takeoff. So on the one hand, they've got to do it. They've got to go through it. They've got to have their first time. But I don't think any of us want to be part of that first time if that's what happens. It's not what we were told. We were told it was visibility, but yeah, it was, honestly, I've never experienced anything even remotely like it. It was pretty crazy. But I did think, oh, that'll be a fun story to share. That did go through my mind. Not until I've landed, though, I can tell you that. Right, let's go to B. Miss Dow Jr. said, Daze, the international fight week this weekend is stacked. It's got Taporia and Oliveira for a vacant lightweight championship. It's a stacked card. What are your thoughts about the John Jones retirement? Yeah, I was quite surprised, honestly, because I really thought they were going to do Jones against Aspinall. And I felt confident they would do it. I really did think it would happen. I didn't really have much in the way of a doubt. I just really believed it was going to happen. So I was shocked when he retired. I feel a bit sorry for Aspinall because it's not really his belt, is it? I mean, he's won it by being handed it. I suppose it's a difficult one. It's a difficult one because, like, you know, that has now been upgraded. So you can say, you can't really say that he doesn't deserve it. I think he is the best of what's around that's, you know, not called John Jones. So you can't say that he doesn't deserve it. But there is this air of he needs to win his next fight to, you know, really make it his, I think. So I was shocked. I thought we would do it. I thought we would do that match. And I was genuinely shocked that he retired and took away that match, that fight, which would have been a massive fight. Okay, I'm going to press play now. I'm just going to go straight into it because it's 1 o'clock already. So I've got Tubi Original. What's this? Let's get rid of that screen. Then... Now, Forever Together. Made by Dawn, hello. Shout out to you. Brony said they really are strapping a rocket to Jasper Troy. He laid out Javon yesterday, and he attacked Ober's next challenger in Inamura. Jasper versus Inamura. Whoever wins will face Ober at Great American Bash. Okay, here we go. Wendy, Choo, and Kylie Ray. No DQ. Last woman standing? I didn't know this. Yes. Last woman standing. Kylie, I accept. This has been going on, this feud, for like pretty much throughout since Kylie arrived, since the start of Evolve. Yeah, she eliminated her in that fatal four-way. Do you know, this has really got an old black and gold NXT feel to it. Like, one big match that we're promoting at the start. This is the great thing about wrestling, is that you can miss a week or, you know, whatever. And it'll get you back in the swing real quick. I'm a Jew like Ali. I flipping love this tune. Yeah, so there we go. Last woman standing match tonight. Let's go. Come on. Evolve. NXT. NXT. Evolve. Evolve. There's some dude with some fun shades. I'm a Jew like Ali. Okay, is this Kylie? Sounds like her music. No, Keanu Carver. Close. Brony said, I think the lack of people in the crowd for Evolve takes away from the action. It's like we're in 2020 all over again with no crowds. Yeah, they could probably do with a few more people in there. I agree. I think it's... I like the fact it's in a smaller venue than NXT, because these are people that are working to get to that next level. It wouldn't really make sense if the crowd was bigger than the NXT crowd. But I think we could absolutely have this audience full. I've said, if I was in Florida, I'd go. Okay, so Keanu Carver has made his way down. He's going to be taking on Ice Williams. Have we seen Ice Williams? I can't picture Ice Williams. Here's Ice Williams. Let's get the graphic up. He looks good. He looks like he's come through next in line. Daze, how was the holiday? Kieran, shout out to you, buds. Yeah, it was good, thank you. It was weird in the sense of there was lots of bars and restaurants and places to eat, so I feel like I managed to get quite a bit of sleep. I feel like I need a bit of a sleep now to get back into a routine, but actually... that's not like a deep tiredness. That's just like getting back into a routine. I feel a bit fresher than before. I feel like my head's not cloudy or you know. Sometimes you can get into a headspace where you're like just a bit overwhelmed and you can't think straight and whatever. I don't feel that. I feel a clarity I've not had for a long time. Honestly, I feel quite good. So I think it's definitely achieved something. Not that it was intended to. It was a very last-minute thing. But, yeah, you know, tried to make the most of it. But, yeah, just got to get back in the swing now. But there was lots of bars to go to. Lots of, on the shoulders, restaurants to pop to. So it was really just a case of Just going to a different restaurant, going to a different bar, a few different bars. I ended up going to 15 different bars in my kind of 6 days there. Having had a drink at every one. And sometimes multiple at different ones. So there was a bit more drinking than I intended. But it was good, thank you. It's nice to be back, though. Just got to get back into the rhythm of things and get, like... need to get things tidied up. I just look around and I'm like, oh, gotta tidy this up. Gotta, you know, tweak this, change that. Nice big throw there by Keanu Carver. Matteo said, what is going on with injuries? We had Liv, Dom, now Chad, and the greatest luchador. I've been missing unseens. I hope that Twitter will fix it. Yeah, well, I've got Blue Sky ready for, like, you know, there is an app you can install that will have folders added to Blue Sky. Might not need it. I think that would always be plan B. I think plan A is probably still Twitter and their folders. So, yeah, it's just been hit and miss the past, like, month or so. But hopefully that is largely fixed. And every time I've looked recently, the folders have been available. So, yeah, we'll be back with Unseens. Chop coming in. And another chop coming in. Big boots. Going over against the ropes. Got smacked down there by Keanu Carver. He's such a big guy, isn't he, Keanu Carver? Jumping on top of Ice Williams and throwing down some big shots. Getting Ice, picking him up. Looking for a bit of an angle slam. Got him up. No, F5. Boom! Yeah. I mean, I tell you what, Ice Williams is no small guy that Keanu Carver is chucking around here. Very impressive. Shoulder up there by Ice. So nice as well to be able to talk, like, without having to worry about neighbors and to actually have some proper lighting and all of these things were not available to me whilst I was away. So all of these are lovely. Right now we've got Keanu very much in control. Follow the path of WWE ID prospects on X. WWE ID. Slam down there by Keanu. Ice down, goes for an elbow, but Ice moves out the way. Haven't seen much out of Ice at the moment. It's been a showcase for Keanu at the moment. Ice, though, starting to come back. And throws in a shot against the ropes. Another forearm. Duck underneath. Over the other side. Oh, chop. Duck underneath. Bang. Lovely explosive work there by Ice. Keanu went down. He's on his hands and knees. He's crawling over to the corner. Ice Williams is from Long Beach, California, but is ice cold. He's got in the corner. Big shot. That didn't look very good. That shot didn't look very good. He didn't really commit to it there, Keanu. Crossbody to, like, the back of the heads. Takes Keanu Carver down. Ice Williams over the other side. Keanu trying to get back up to his feet. Ice, boom, super kick. Down goes Keanu. 1, 2. Shoulder up. Shoulder up. Ice Williams almost with the upset. Kid in the crowd is like, oh, it was just a 2. It was just a 2. Dude in the crowd has got like a brat green beanie. Love that for him. Ice climbing up. That dude's having a brat summer. Even though it was last summer. Boom. Big collision there by Keanu. Ice Williams goes down. Ice coming over again. Grabbing. Keanu with Ice. Oh. I don't know what he calls that. Has him up on his shoulder. Flips him over. Puts him away. And it is a win for Keanu Carver. I voted for Keanu Carver, said Hassan. Well, it is a win for Keanu Carver. Let's just get a gauge as to what people thought about that match. Is that Timothy Thatcher? Thatcher has come down. He's grabbing Ice Williams. So Thatcher has come out. He's having a go at Keanu. Okay, we're going to learn more about Cappuccino Jones and Jack Cartwheel.
So, how did you get a WWE ID contract? So, here comes Cappuccino Jones.
Okay, so a video package on Cappuccino.
I didn't know how I was going to get here. I was wrestling in a promotion in Tulsa, Oklahoma, in a little church, less than 30 people. But one of those 30 people was a WWE scout.
No way.
All I needed was to get in front of the right person. Oh, it's cartwheel time, baby. I was told that the time to get ready is over. It's time.
That's crazy, isn't it? Cappuccino Jones was wrestling in a church in front of 30 people, and one of those people was a WWE talent scout.
Really trying to bring it to life where I'm trying to cartwheel all over the world. ID program has done a lot for me. Honestly, like when you look at everybody in the ID program, I like to think that I was the most unknown. I've gotten so much better.
Cappuccino said, I'd like to think in the whole program I was the most unknown. I've got so much better.
I wouldn't have been there without WWE ID. Adrenaline drip. I can get used
That's crazy.
to WWE ID top.
Right, oh, Kendal Gray going to be in action. Kendal Gray against Zara Zaka.
Prospect returning Zara Zacher, looking to defend
That match coming up next.
serious allegations.
Daze, what will you do after Night of Champions and seeing video reaction and review if you don't do UFC pay-per-view this Saturday? Poirier Holloway next month isn't clashing with a WWE PLE. Well, if it doesn't clash, then I'm interested. My answer will always be the same. Yeah, I mean, I know that Night of Champs is in Saudi and it's on at a different time to UFC, but it's just not possible. The other thing as well is that I've got to be so careful with my voice. I don't know where my voice is at the moment. I mean, it feels fine right now, but this year has been a real eye-opener in regards to my voice just packing up, just abandoning me. So I'm having to like really try and be a bit more careful with it. I'm at commercial break at the moment, by the way. I know the show is probably continuing for some, but I've got this commercial break. But yeah, I need to be careful. So doing back-to-back streams and stuff like that, like back-to-back long streams, I don't know that that's a good idea because that could absolutely cane my voice. And to be honest, I need to do unseen's reaction videos, reviews, and all that anyway. So yeah, it's in the past we might have just gone from one stream to another stream, but we're in a bit of a different place right now. So gonna get the wrestling done this weekend. That's our focus, and yeah, I look forward to the day where TKO get their shiz together and don't put major shows on at the same time, on the same day. Okay, here we are then. Beyond Wrestling. So, Vanity Project, we're at Evolve, at Beyond. I wonder if Triple T was there. Triple T should have gone to this. Hondas.
History is literally being made right before us. Because we have the first ever WWE Evolve champion, Jackson Drake, live in the flesh. The boys are busting.
Jackson Drake, obviously still the Evolve champ.
The WWE Evolve champion. That's right, Ricky. Listen, I don't mean to like kill the vibe or anything like that, but I've been doing some thinking, okay? Thinking about, let's say, Dorado. Thinking about LWO. Thinking about how they had the fortitude to put hands on the Vanity Project.
Okay, they're talking about the LWO. Okay, so Jackson, Drake, and Swipe Right against LWO and Lindsay.
Who are standing tall, center stage, running the whole damn show, will be the man.
I like this, though. I like the fact they're cutting a promo, and it's a promo from, like, an indie show. It's a great way to promote indie shows. So, we just heard a promo there of Vanity Project at Beyond Wrestling, which is the one that's in, like, the Boston area, the one that Tommy Toy Travels goes to. And basically, they were talking about LWO, so it looks like that's a match that we've got coming up soon. Right, we're going over to our second match. Here's Zara Zaka. Zara versus Kendal. I never know if it's Kendal. E-L-A-L. Don't know. But I do like Kendal Gray a lot. Looking forward to this one. Daze, why is the PLE not having even half of them title fights? There's 2 title fights. Even Vince knew that the whole card had to be title fights. Not the whole card has to be title fights. I think they're trying to space them out because they're obviously trying to make Raw and SmackDown important as well. They want people tuning into Raw. They want people tuning into SmackDown. And so put in some title, like, for example, we could have done Bayley Becky at the Premium Live event, but instead we did Bayley versus Becky on Raw for the Intercontinental Championship. And I think we've actually got the tag chat. When is the tag championship match? Is that Friday or is that at Night of Champions? But the point is, there's a lot of titles, and they are trying to space them out. They want people, and I'm not down on that, honestly. I'm not down on that because title fights are obviously important, some more so than others. But you know, we want Raw to be worth watching. We want SmackDown to be worth watching. We want to tune into these shows and not just have boring shows that, you know, have matches that don't matter. And, you know, in a way, it's good that we've kind of moved away from those days. Back in the day, it kind of was that way because before the network, they had to try and get you to buy the pay-per-views, and each pay-per-view was like $50. I mean, the pay-per-views were expensive, so they had to really stack the shows to get you to buy them. But, I mean, that was like a long time ago. I'm talking over 10 years ago. Since the network, it kind of started changing a little bit. And since TKO and Triple H took over, I think it's changed again. And now, you know, the PLEs, you just watch on Netflix or Peacock or whatever. It's just, it's what, $10 a month, $12 a month, whatever it might be. I mean, it's completely different now. Kendal getting up to her feet, working on the arm there. Zara rolling through. Kip up there by Zara, but nice really good takedown there by Kendal. Really good. It's working on the arm. Still shocked that Kylie Ray eliminated her in the title match last month. Oh, it's AL. Kendal. There we go. Next Monday, tag titles, Judgment Day versus New Day, and this Friday is Wyatt's versus Street Profits. Kieran, thank you. Yeah. So again, just trying to add to, please watch SmackDown, please watch Raw. And again, I can't be down on it because we all want those shows to be worth watching and worth our time. It's a lot of time to invest in wrestling. Oh, down went Kendal. Kendal back up. Down went Kendal again. Zara. I like Zara in yellow. I think some of the gear could be cleaned up a little bit. It's a little bit big in places, but it looks pretty good. I like the color scheme. It makes me think of Wolverine, honestly. Right now, round the back of Zara is Kendal. Reversal again there by Zara. Kendal getting round the back. Back elbow there by Zara. Zara looking to go against the ropes. Kendal, middle of the ring, working on the arm. Lovely takedown. That's a great takedown. That's a great takedown. Love that. She's trying to get a hold of the arm here. 1, 2, kick out. Kendal really is like someone that has got that amateur wrestling background. Like, she is no stranger. She does not get lost in the ring. Working on the arm. She's picking up Zara. No joy. Kendal. Step up Insaguri. Kendal goes back against the ropes. She gets picked up. She's upside down, rolling through, going for the cover. 2. No joy. No joy. Back up on her feet. Love. Look at that. Great athleticism. Backflip to escape the clothesline there by Zara, but actually that ended up costing her. She ended up getting put away, and it is Kendal that picks up the victory. Well, do you know, it was short, it was sweet, and it was pretty fun. James said, Daze, huge numbers for NXT, 729. Well, that's great. That's great. Yeah, that sounds like they're on a bit of a roll at the moment, which is really good to hear. There's Stevie. Here's Idris. Oh, Evolve's newest sign-in. Has someone been attacked again?
I need one of you to get medical right now. I'm on it.
Here's Zara. Here's Kendal. Oh, right. I think Zara might have been taking the blame, but it's not Zara. There's Kylie Ray. She's getting a pump on. She's getting ready for later. Last woman standing match. That should be really interesting, but where are they going to take it? I wonder if we'll get to see, like, gorilla position or, like... I don't know, where can you... There's not really much room, is there, in that arena? Where are you going to take that fight? I mean, if you're going to do a last man standing or last woman standing, in my mind, that means that you're going to venture out at some point. Pretty much every match does that. You're going to venture out the ring. It's just not really anywhere to go, is there? Okay, little video package. Swipe right. Sean Legacy, of course. Okay. Vanity Project, Sean Legacy. They're just talking about the Evolve talent that's already appeared on NXT. Kylie Armstrong. These prospects all have a drive to evolve. Good showing by Zayda, says Ben. Right, we're going to find out this next sign-in. Okay.
So,
Without further ado.
Welcome.
It's Dante Chen. Wow. That's a great sign-in. Dante Chen has got that sort of ground support. I think they really see something in Dante, but he's been struggling to get like consistently onto NXT TV for a long time now. He was killing it in NXT Level Up. And he really built up this groundswell of support. The fans love him. He's really good with the fans. Yeah, he'll do really well here. I can see him doing well. I can see him being champ. I don't know how long he's going to be in Evolve 4. But look at the crowd. Like, the fans are totally with him.
All the way from Singapore to WWE Evolve. Whoa.
Okay. Yeah, let's go. I'm here for this. I'm surprised that we're not using him on NXT.
Stevie, WWE Evolve. I'm here.
I'm here. Perhaps he still hasn't quite worked his character out, you know?
Such a talented and unique roster of up-and-coming WWE superstars and WWE ID talent.
His English is pretty good. His English is pretty good.
I'm sure some of you remember Ethan Page attacking me on NXT.
I'm sure some of you remember Ethan attacking me on NXT.
Smashing the steel
Is that the last time we saw him?
tearing multiple
Earlier this year.
It was a grueling rehabilitation process.
It's been a grueling rehabilitation process.
I doubted my career was over. But all I could think about was getting back in this ring and doing what I love. Running.
All I could think about was getting back in this ring and doing what I love.
I have always found purpose in being a superstar who aids the next generation. Being in Evolve is for me.
It's not a bad promo, honestly.
Evolve
It's not a bad promo.
live.
Yeah. So, Idris Enofe is interrupting. Idris is
I know what time it is. I know what
getting a bit of a devil vibe here. Is all in red.
Dante, welcome to Evolve.
Welcome to Evolve.
Thank you, Idris. It's good to see you. It's been a while. It has been a while, Dante.
I don't mind Idris all in red.
But Dante, I hate to break it to
We've all got to have inspiration. It seems like his is Eva Marie.
you, artists. It ain't special. What? You don't believe me? You don't believe me? I was just you a few weeks ago. Welcomed as your newest signee. Receiving my flowers from these people. Getting praise from my fellow co-workers. I also competed in the inaugural men's Evolve Championship.
So Idris is like, I've been in your shoes.
It was a hero's welcome.
It was a hero's welcome.
I'm seen like everyone else.
But now I'm just seen like everyone else.
Time. And for who? For who? For you? What's so special about you, Dante?
What's so special about you?
Oh, you're the only one who had to overcome an injury? Oh, you're the only one who wants to be the face of Evolve? Well, you're not. And you won't be.
I really don't mind this match, you know.
So enjoy your time being this
I think it's a good
toy.
promo. It's a good point that he's making.
Prepare to step aside. As the EOE, the epitome of excellence, ascends and makes Evolve his domain.
Do you know, from Idris, I sort of get like a little Lexis King vibe.
This isn't you. You know it.
Dante said, this isn't you, and you know it.
Nah. But this is me.
This is me, says Idris.
I'm the same man you remember. I'm tired of being tired.
I'm tired of being tired.
Sick of playing the game the right way just to get ignored and walked on. Believe that all you want.
I hope this works out for you, says Dante. He's going to hit him. Yeah, you could see that a mile away. I felt like it took a little while to get there. Just a heartbeat too long. Needed to be just a little tighter. That's all. Just a little tighter. Yeah, I don't mind Idris all in red. Kind of going with that devil vibe. I think that's quite good, honestly. I think there's something for him to dig into there. I could see him as a sort of a leader of a group. You know, I could see like some really young talent listening to what he's got to say. And, you know, he's been in the system a long time. He's been in NXT. He's working his way back up. You could understand a few rookies kind of going under his wing. But, yeah, wearing red and kind of digging into that. I think there's something there. Next month, Poirier Holloway is not clashing with boxing or WWE. Will you do it? It could be Poirier's last fight, said Mr. Dell Jr. I don't know, honestly. I mean, yes, I want to try and do it. That fight is a fight I'm very interested in. And if it's not clashing with anything, then I can't give you a reason as to why we won't do it. But equally, without having like properly looked into it, I don't want to commit to something that I'm then not going to do, you know, so. But I would say at the moment, I can't give you a reason why we wouldn't do it. So I'd say it's looking very good. We just got Layla Diggs. I don't know much about her, so this is quite interesting. Aria Bennett got injured last week. Oh. Jin?
I have amazing news for you and I just couldn't wait. So I went to Stevie and she agreed that I could replace Aria Bennett in your match next week. So
Jin is going to replace Aria Bennett, so it's going to be Layla versus Aria. I wonder if it's Layla. I wonder if it's Layla. She's got to be, if it's not someone new, if it's someone already in the system. I wonder if it's Layla. Wendy, Choo, Kylie Ray. Coming up next, last woman standing match. Days only takes one day at a time with streams. People should know that. That is true. That is true. I know that I am doing... I just like to know what I'm doing this week. That's all I want to know. What am I doing this week? And I know I'm doing Night of Champions. That's me happy. Seriously, the week after that, I don't know. Week after that, I don't know. I know that obviously we'll do Evolve, we'll do SummerSlam, we'll do... I know that wrestling's prioritised. But yeah, I'd love to get back to in UFC. Like, we got an advert for SummerSlam. First 2-day SummerSlam as well. August 2nd, August 3rd from MetLife Stadium. Individual and combo tickets on sale now. Steve said, is it someone on Evolve already or someone new attacking? Yeah, it's a good question, that, Steve. I don't know the answer to that.
We get the W.
Right, we've got Tate Wilder just saying a few words. But I am at commercial break again. Yeah, I think the show's been okay. It's been fine. I've enjoyed the couple of matches that we've had. I don't think either has set the world on fire, but I've enjoyed them. They've not been a chore to watch. I think Dante being in is interesting. I think that's a good addition. I think him having a match with Idris is good, and I like Idris in the red. Someone else has been attacked. Obviously, that's interesting, trying to know who that is. We had a promo from Beyond Wrestling. It's been solid. It's not been spectacular, but it's been solid. But obviously, Kylie Ray, Wendy Choo, last woman standing match. That's interesting. That's got my attention. So I'm very... I'm in an all right place with this show as we head into the final match. For you, for me, for all America, Fox News. Here's Tate Wilder. Yeehaw! Tate Wilder's into his horse riding, his water sports.
These goals are not possible unless I become successful on Evolve. My name is Tate Wilder. Hop on board and buckle up.
He's an action man.
It's about to be a wild ride.
Tate Wilder coming soon.
No, I just want to tell y'all something.
Ah. Jerk Taco Man. Jamaican Jerk Shack. Cruz Del Toro. Lindsay Dorado. Whacking Wilds.
Man, I don't know how you deal with Vanity Project. They're so annoying. Yeah, too cocky, too comfortable. You got these stupid faces. I just want to put you in a... And we can do a lot of that. It's kind of madness. They talk about running Evolve.
I don't know anything about Cruz. Is Cruz Del Toro the person on the main roster we know the least about? I think Cruz Del Toro... I don't know anything about him, and he's been on the main roster for I don't know how long. Hello, we've got some arguing backstage. Jamar Hampton and Idris.
You got a lot to learn, and the biggest thing you gotta learn is not to get in my face.
Don't get in my face, said Idris.
Why don't you teach me something then? I ain't doing nothing for everyone else no more.
Idris says, I'm not doing nothing for anyone else no more. I like this. Good attitude. Right, 6-man tag match next week. Vanity Project against Cruz Del Toro, Whacking Wild, and Lindsay Dorado. Right, it is going to be last woman standing match very, very soon. And this could cook, honestly. Jin Tala takes on Layla Diggs next week. Wendy versus Smiley Kylie Ray. Here we go. Wendy Choo making her entrance. Ben said, the new Ring of Honor stable, Frat House, is looking for a member. And with your experience as a jock, you would fit right in. I don't know if you see Ring of Honor. I don't watch Ring of Honor, to be honest, buds. But I would be perfect for that role. Here's Wendy Choo. Dream Killer written on a mask. Last woman standing match. Who is going to be counted down to the count of 10? I like that from Pete Rosenberg. He said, last woman standing, something feels a little different. Wendy in the ring. There's a teddy bear. I don't know if that's just any bear or another one that's been stolen from Kylie Ray's kids. There's a pillow there as well. You never know if that's got anything in it or not. She goes back to the corner. Here's Smiley Kylie Ray. I bet she ain't going to be smiling too much. Oh, she is actually. I thought she would come out like really super serious, considering the challenge that she's about to face. Oh, but no, straight in. Straight after Wendy. And we're underway. Big shot there by Wendy. Smiley Kylie Ray goes over against the ropes. Working on the arm. Bang. Down goes Wendy. Shots coming in. She gets off Wendy. Wendy coming over. Kylie goes down. Wendy grabbing the arm there of Kylie. Duck underneath. Against the ropes. Taking over. Flip. Lovely flip over there by Kylie. Lovely kick coming in. It's Smiley Kylie Ray straight out of the gate. Looking good in the early stages. Against the ropes. Through the ropes. Lands onto Wendy. Wendy goes down. And Smiley Kylie Ray Trying to get underneath the ring. I wonder if are these tables going to be sponsored by Slim Jim? We've got a table, but we can't see the other side of it. I wonder if they're just main roster tables. I actually don't know the deal. I tell you what, if that doesn't have Slim Jim on, it's just another reason to love Evolve. Kick coming in there by Wendy. We are gonna... I think we might be going through the entranceway, so we might get chance. Might get chance to see Gorilla, but Kylie emerges with a trash can. She's got a smile on her face. She takes the lid off the trash can. Trash can over the head of Wendy. She goes under the ring. She grabs a broom. She's going to start walloping Wendy. Boom! With that broom. And again. Oh, super kick. Down goes Wendy. I mean, some of that spot looked a little bit... It's one of those where if you're not a fan of pro wrestling, you would be like, why is she not just taking the can off of her head? Even commentators were saying, why is she just taking this? But, you know, with wrestling, sometimes you just have to kind of go with it, don't you? Eliminated Wendy Choo from the Evolve Women's Championship match a few weeks ago. The trash can is in the ring, wedged in the corner. Wendy is back up on her feet. Kick to the midsection by Kylie. She is looking for a suplex, gets it. Wendy goes over in the corner. She's up against that trash can. Kylie coming over. Goes into that trash can as Wendy moves out the way. Suplex by Wendy. Saturday, July 12th, NXT Great American Bash. Right now we got Wendy against the ropes. Daze, what match at Night of Champions are you most looking forward to? Mine is Cena Punk. Last time ever, says James. Yeah, I could go with that, honestly. I mean, I think Randy and Cody is excellent. You know, that's one I've been waiting for. So I'm really looking forward to that as well. But I think Cody gets that. I'm expecting Cody to get that. And then I think John gets it, and I'm sure we're just going to set up Cody versus John. So, you know, maybe the fact that it's a little predictable, it's hard to say because it hasn't happened yet. That's kind of what I'm expecting. Might just be taken away from those matches, but they're still excellent. I still can't wait to see them. So, yeah, I agree with you. And if I was just to add an alternative, it would probably be King of the Ring final, as Kylie Ray is having her leg tied to the rope. So Wendy is on the outside. She's just managed to get a bit of tape. I don't think she used quite enough tape, to be honest. She probably needed to wrap it around a few more times, but it's done the job. Doesn't seem to have come off. Kylie Ray is upside down. She just got walloped with a trash can lids. As Wendy goes back to that toolbox. Finds a turnbuckle, metal turnbuckle strut. Jabbing that into the midsection of Smiley Kylie Ray. So Wendy on the outside, kicking the trash can lid away as we go, I believe, to another promo this summer. Paris lights up the world. I forgot about this show. We talk so much about different shows. I always forget about Clash in Paris. WWE's premium live event. Clash in Paris. That is August 31st. That is so far away. I mean, it's like, it's 2 months away. It's 2 months away, and it's, we've got to get past SummerSlam first. Shot coming in there by Kylie Ray. Kylie Ray and Wendy fighting on the edge of the ring. Daze, did you get caught up on NXT? No, I didn't, but I'm 2 weeks out. I am 2 weeks out. I need to watch them. Big Boot coming in. I didn't even see last week's Evolve, so I got to watch that as well. They're the only things I've missed out on, though. I mean, obviously, we still did Raw and SmackDown. I'm glad I haven't got to catch up with them as well. Kylie Ray goes down as Wendy grabs a trash can lid. Kylie Ray's gone under the ring. Fire extinguisher? Yeah, it's a classic fire extinguisher. Fire extinguisher used by Kylie. She squirts it right in the face of Wendy Choo. Goes and grabs Wendy, helps her over towards the ring steps. It's been a pretty fun match, this one. We've spent quite a bit of time outside the ring. We haven't really gone anywhere too adventurous. It's not like we've gone into the crowds or into the gorilla position or anything. Charging in. Oh, cannonballing over into Wendy. Wendy was over against those steel steps. Referee starts counting. Obviously, she's got to get back on her feet at the count of 10. Ref counting away. Up to 5. 6. 7. I think she'll beat this count. She's getting back up, using that railing. She is back up on her feet. Clubbing blow coming in there by Smiley Kylie Ray. Throwing Wendy back in the ring. Kylie on the outside, stepping in. Akeem said, every time I see her Tiffy shots, her head gets larger and rounder. It's like a jack-o'-lantern, says Akeem. I will look out for that now. Random question, out of Raw, NXT, Evolve, SmackDown, which is your personal favourite roster, says Matteo. Oh, CrossFit. Not Evolve. I don't know enough about them for it to be Evolve. You know, I still keep seeing people pop up and I'm like, who's this? Like, we got Ice Williams and whatever, so, you know, certainly not going to be Evolve. I'm wondering if it's NXT with Javon, Ethan, Jordan Grace, like, obviously Mariah May. Kick to the midsection. But I don't know, each show's got, like, talent I enjoy. Wyatt's obviously over on SmackDown. But it's great to have Asuka back. She's over on Raw. Io's over there as well. Sammy's over there. I don't know. It's a really good question. It's a good question because I don't know if there is one that kind of stands out. If I had a gun to my head, I think I would go NXT. Because, to be honest, it's been the best show. It's been the best brand. So, you know, I really enjoy that show. And there's plenty, like Javon Evans and Oba Femi. And I know the women's division has just taken a bit of a hit. But I think for 2025, I'd go NXT. Yeah, something. Whoa! Are those Lego pieces?
Oh, no. Now, you might look at Legos and you might say, what are those there? That's a children's toy. My kids have Legos. I have 8-year-olds. Have you ever landed on those? Stepping on a Lego is a nightmare of epic proportion. Yes. Oh.
Stepping on a Lego is a nightmare of epic proportion. So it's not thumbtacks. It's Lego pieces that have been put in the ring from Wendy. We've seen this before. Lego pieces have been used before in wrestling matches, unsurprisingly. Right now, we got Wendy with this bear, big boots in the midsection. We've got teddy bears. We've got Lego pieces. Oh, there was something in the teddy bear. Inside the teddy bear is, I think, a brick.
Wait, is that... Dude, that's a brick.
There was a brick inside the bear, and actually, Kylie didn't know that.
She just did. Ladies and gentlemen, that is a first. I have never seen a brick.
Wendy, though, down, trying to get back up to her feet. She's over against the ropes. She does get back up to her feet. Now Kylie's going to try and put Wendy away. No, couldn't do it. She's picking up. It's Kylie that gets slammed onto those Lego pieces. She's got a few of them. She's selling that so good. Look at the facial expressions. Look at her body like proper arched over. That's some great selling. To be honest, I don't even know if it's selling. She really got planted on those Legos. She really got planted hard. Right now, she's over again. Look at the face. Look at it. I'm feeling the pain is radiating through the TV. Right now, Wendy putting a sleeper hold on, but Kylie trying to battle her way out. Kylie is so good. Wendy's really good as well. And it's been a really fun match. But I love the sell of that Lego spot there. Really felt the pain. It really came across. Right now, Wendy on the shoulders, edge of the ring. We've got Wendy on the outside, Kylie on the outside. Wendy trying to pull Kylie through a table. Oh, they both go through a table, but it's Wendy that I think took the worst of it. And that table, I don't believe, no, it does not have Slim Jim written on it. Guys, just another reason why Evolve is so good. It's not flipping sponsored by Slim Jim. Let's go. It is sponsored by Lego by the look of it, but everyone knows that's better. 8, 9, who's going to get there? 10. Oh, Kylie apparently stands. Both women were down. It's Kylie that gets to her feet. But, I mean, there was flipping nothing in it. She gets the victory. Wendy is still down. As Kylie Ray banished her demon. Is the nightmare over now? Fun match, honestly. Fun match. Let's get a poll. See what you lot thought about it. It was full of spots, full of action. It was absolutely would not look out of place on NXT. Absolutely, that would be well received on NXT. That spot, man. That spot is as good a spot as you're going to see this year. That slam was, it had some extra applied to it. The Legos are in her back, and the sell of it was so good. Those moments really elevate matches, and that really helped elevate this match. She's still selling her back. We're just seeing the carnage. There's the broken table. There's Wendy Choo on the outside looking devastated. There's Kylie Ray in the ring with a big smile on her face. And they're making a big deal out of the fact that that is the end of that feud. Natalya.
Wendy and Kylie just had a hell of a match. That was incredible. I mean, I have to say, Stevie, you have done such a great job with running.
You've done such a great job.
Division is so deep. These girls are so good. Like, I'm blown away by it.
Natalya, listen, that is a huge compliment coming from you. Thank you so much.
You're so welcome. I want to be here at Evolve because I really just want to take all the experience that I have and pay it forward and just help build.
I want to help build, says Natalya.
The boat herself. Who better to guide these women to NXT than you? Thank you for being here.
Thank you for being here.
Guide everyone as the women's champion here, the Evolve women's champion. And I want a match against Kylie Armstrong. Let's get a selfie.
She wants a match. For the Evolve Women's Championship. Stevie was thinking about that then. That was really interesting. That was really interesting that she was like, I can guide people as the women's champion. And Stevie was like, not what I was expecting, to be honest. Not what I was expecting. Yeah, fun. And it seems like you lot enjoyed it as well, because at the moment you are scoring that match as great. So, you know, people always say about Evolve, they're like, why'd you bother watching Evolve? and I've answered that question so many times now. That genuinely, I enjoy seeing the talent that's coming through. Genuinely, I enjoy seeing and critiquing the little things. I mean, I think it's just fun to look at future stars that are in the process of putting things together and learning things. And, you know, we've watched wrestling so long that, you know, you can look at them and go, oh, I think they need to turn that up. They should explore that a bit more. And there's fun in that. There's entertainment in that. There's something constructive in that, you know? I would love to see behind the scenes. It would be brilliant if there was like a show. Do you know, there was a show like this actually back in the day where they had a soap, you know, like a drama. So they had a drama. I think it was called Echo Beach, right? And basically it was a normal drama, you know, like Days of Our Lives or whatever, right? Normal scripted drama, everything fine. But also in the same week, and a different time slot, was a TV show, which was, I think, a bit of a, I don't know if it was a sitcom or whatever, and it was all about them writing the show Echo Beach. So it was really weird. It was really weird. You had the show Echo Beach, which was a normal drama, and then there was another show, had a different name. And the whole point of that show was that it was, I think, a comedy. And it was all about comedy writers writing a TV show. And that show was Echo Beach. And then later you would watch the actual episodes of Echo Beach. And it didn't really work. I think it was a very interesting idea. Very interesting idea. And that is from, like, I think that was in the 2000s. I mean, it's probably a good 20 years ago now. But, yeah, I remember that show. I only caught a bit of it. It didn't blow me away. I think the idea was better than the actual shows. But, yeah, I would really love it if tomorrow we got to see the feedback. That would be amazing. Like, tomorrow we actually do a behind-the-scenes kind of performance center hour-long episode where they talk about Evolve. They talk about what went well, what needs tweaking, what needs changing. So you watch Evolve on the Wednesday, and then on the Thursday you get to see the feedback that the wrestlers get. That would be so good. There'd be people that would be down on that because people would be like, you're taking the magic out of wrestling. It's the same argument about this WWE Unreal, yeah? People are down on that because you're ruining it, you're taking the mystique away and all that kind of stuff. The pushback from me on that is you can't say to people, to haters, that wrestling is just like a TV show and then kind of get annoyed and upset when it gets treated like a TV show. Like TV shows do behind the scenes documentaries, you know? Whenever you watched a film or a TV show, on DVD, they tended to come with DVD extras. And a lot of those extras were like a commentary track where the people that made the TV show or made the film would talk to you during the film about how they built it or what they did and the challenges they had. Like DVD commentary tracks was a very popular thing. It doesn't really happen now because obviously DVDs have declined. But also on DVD box, you could easily get like a making of documentary. There was a real period where to try and convince you to buy a DVD, they would really put a lot of extras on. So you'd have the film on one disc and you'd probably get a second disc of just bonus content. And so for me, like, if we're going to say that this is like a TV show, it's like a film, then that bonus content, those behind the scenes documentaries, they're kind of part of it in this day and age. Certainly not back in the day. I mean, it's changed. It's just changed, and it'll never go back to what it was. It can't. I mean, with the internet around and the cat out of the bag now, you know, before people, when it came to kayfabe, there was always a bit of a question mark around it. People were like, you know, this isn't real, right? But there was always a bit of a, No one knew 100% kind of a thing, unless she was reading the dirt sheets. It was just one of those where, you know, people spoke and whatever. Now, I mean, there's just no doubt, is there? With all the shoot interviews and all the behind-the-scenes documentaries, I mean, the cat is very much out the bag. So, yeah, for me, I would personally enjoy that. It might not be for everyone, but I'd just say if it's not for you, you don't have to watch it. But I would love it if tomorrow there was a show that like really broke Evolve down and was like, this was really good. I really love the tempo. I think what we're doing with your character is working, but let's explore this a little bit more. And then next week we would know to look out to see if they took on board what's been said. You know, are we seeing would we actually see the evolution of the character? The kind of things they told them to tweak, have they tweaked it? I think it would actually add another layer. Because imagine if they had a problem with a move and they were struggling with it and they didn't quite get it right on this week's Evolve. Next time we see them, we will have seen the feedback. You've got to nail that. You've got to get that cleaner. And then next time they have a match, we'll know, like, oh, they're going to go for that drop kick again. Let's see if they hit it this time. And then, like, if they do, I mean, it actually brings in, surprisingly, it brings in realism. It brings in things that are actually real, you know? Which is kind of ironic when we're talking about kayfabe and ruining the mystique and everything, when actually we're getting to the most real aspect of pro wrestling. This is pro wrestling being real. That's why I'm quite excited for this show, the new show, because we're actually going to get some truth. We're actually going to get some reality. We're actually going to see what really goes on in pro wrestling, which I think is what people have wanted from the start, you know. They've wanted the truth. They thought they were watching the truth back in the day, and it turns out we weren't. Well, now you're going to get the truth. We're going to find out what really goes on behind the scenes, so, yeah. Mayor Pete said that show is called LFG. Well, it's not connected to Evolve, is it? So LFG is got its own little world. I mean, I think they do matches and then break them down. So you are correct in that regards, but it's not connected with Evolve. Nathan says, are you thinking of doing 2 SmackDown streams on Friday? I would like to be here for Dexter and Gase's tag match. I will be at work during the day. Am I doing 2 streams for SmackDown? Oh, I get what you're saying. So I don't really know how it's working, to be honest. Is it not airing live? It won't be, will it? Because it'll be on USA Network. Yes. To answer your question, yes, I will be thinking of doing 2 then. We did it before when it was it in Saudi? I don't even know where it was. Taped or something. They aired it live in the UK on Netflix and then aired it on USA Network, didn't they? That was probably because of the European tour. I think we were doing it. So, yes, I would very much like that. I would very much like that. I'd very much like to make sure that we're still accommodating our American friends. So, yes, I will aim to do that. Corey said, I'm a whole year old. Did you find a mommy dong? To be honest, Corey, shout out to you, my friend. I wasn't looking for a mommy dong. So I can't say that was on my to-do list. But I'm sure if I wanted one, I could have located one. So, Corey, shout out to you. Daze, where is the AI voice? Is it taking a break or are you done with it? Said Mr. Dell Jr. To be honest, there was a little bit of pushback from people. Not. I don't think regulars. Not you guys. I think you guys understood. People that watch us on a regular basis, members, I think understood that I've been battling with my voice a bit this year. I don't know why. I haven't done anything different. I just think maybe the chickens came home to roost. So maybe it was just a case of straining my voice over the years and it's all caught up. So I don't know. I don't think I've done anything different. So the voice was kind of brought in a little bit of, variety as well. We were kind of exploring the different voices, Trucker Ted and all of that, having a bit of fun with that. But really it was to help with my voice. To be honest, there was a bit of pushback from people that don't watch, where they were like, I can't stand it, I don't like it. And obviously, if ever you get that kind of feedback, then that's a bit of a red flag, isn't it? Because, you know, even if they're not people that are like regular parts of our community, I still don't want to be like driving people away. So it's one of those where it's not done. I'll use it if I really have to use it. If I really feel like my voice is packing up, then I'll, you know, we'll use it. But if I don't want to have to use it, because there's been a bit of feedback. People aren't crazy about it. I don't know why. I don't know what the issue is personally, but you know, I take it on board. So yeah, it's on a need basis. Let's put it that way. I think Evolve is going to get a title match at Evolution. Said, that's a good shout. Actually, that's a good shout. Perhaps Natalia has her match there. That's a good shout. Bishop said, I've got a question. When will the WEP return? Hopefully tomorrow. So I've not checked with Tommy. I'm here. I'm ready. I'm back. So I'm ready. If it doesn't happen tomorrow, and at the moment I believe it is, it will be because Tommy's not available. Tommy wasn't available. I think it was like 3 weeks ago. Tommy wasn't available. 2 weeks ago, I was in London. Last week, I was obviously in Egypt. But yeah, I'm back now. And as long as Tommy's available, then it should be a pretty big catch-up episodes. I think as long as it goes ahead, and I just haven't confirmed it with Tommy yet, but as far as I know, it will be. We will obviously have a lot to talk about. An awful lot to kind of dig into. I really like the Wrestling Escape Pod because I know that we do touch on non-wrestling stuff. I mean, really, I'll just answer whatever questions come in. I think that's a good thing about the streams we do. I will talk about whatever, whenever, really. I like to keep it more wrestling focused, of course, because that's why people join us. But, you know, the Wrestling Escape Pod, it allows us to kind of get into a bit more non-wrestling stuff. So, you know, I can talk a bit more about Egypt. I can talk a bit more about kind of what's been going on. Not that anything's really been going on, but obviously my dad retiring has been really quite disruptive. We went through a period of a week or two where my dad was like, can you give me a hand with this? Can you give me a hand with that? There might be a little bit of that still, but I don't envisage that it's going to disrupt the channel. But it certainly was disruptive at first. Then, of course, he wanted to have a break, go on holiday, took the family. That's why I went to Egypt. That's why it was kind of last minute, because it was very last minute. It wasn't something I knew about like months in advance. It was like weeks, if that it kind of came together. So that kind of dropped. I was able to give the members a bit of a heads up that there was going to be some disruption. I said June would be messy, and it has been messy. But honestly, we're past that now. And apart from, being honest, apart from not this week's SmackDown, but next week's SmackDown is a problem for me. Because my brother actually told me the other day he's managed to get Oasis tickets. And he had obviously no option as to how, like, it was a friend of his that was selling his, basically. So he's managed to get these tickets, confirm that it's all going to be okay getting in and everything. He's actually got his mate's ID if needed. And so he's bought them off his friends. So there was no, can we choose a Thursday, or can we choose a Sunday, or, you know, what works for it was, he got what he got. And what he got was he managed to get, I think it was 3 tickets to the Cardiff show, which is on not this Friday, the Friday after. So straight away he knew I was a fan of Oasis. So he's like, asked me if I would go. And his girlfriend as well, so his partner. So that is, apart from that, I am not aware of anything else that's going to be disruptive to the channel, and we should be on top of it. So yes, WEP hopefully tomorrow. A. Jobson says that's a dub. Oasis fire. Yeah, complete. I mean, it's really weird, you know, how these things are sort of just happening to me. And it's really weird how they're all happening to me in very quick succession. Like, you lot have been watching this channel, many of you, for a long, long time, for years, and you'll know that consistently, week in, week out, I'm here doing these shows. And it's just so weird how, in the space of really since my dad retired, in the space of the past 4 weeks, there's just things happening that are out of my control, affecting me. My dad saying, let's go. Oh, I'd like to take everyone away. I'd like everyone to go abroad. And it's like, I'm obviously not going to turn my dad down. So that happened. And then, whilst I'm away, my brother's been able to manage to get these tickets completely out of nowhere. He did try for me. My brother was desperate to see Oasis because I saw them back in the day. I went to Wembley in 2000 to watch Oasis. So I've seen them during their first run. And I would have seen them this time, but honestly, ticket prices got crazy. They started at, I think it was 150, 180. We got to the front of the queue and it said standing £330 each or something like this, right? And I was like, no, that's not the tickets. The ones they're selling are like 150, 180. That must be like a VIP thing. And then, of course, it turned out it was dynamic pricing, which I had never heard of. And this was the first time I'd heard of it. Basically, the more that people buy tickets, the more demand. Every time someone buys them, the price goes up a little bit, which is bonkers because, of course, Oasis are going to sell out. Of course, they're going to sell out the tickets to their shows. So, of course, the demand is going to be there. So you're advertising tickets at like 150, 180, but when you actually go to buy them, they're more expensive because of the demand. Like, I understand supply and demand. I understand like trying to make as much money as you possibly can, but it really flipping sucks when you think to yourself, yeah, I'll do it. I'll go for it. £150. I mean, I don't want to be spending that, but once in a lifetime. I don't know if they'll, come back together again. Let's go. And then you get to the front of the queue, it's like 330. And honestly, I mean, I just, you know me, I'm trying to save for a place. There's lots of money that goes back into the channel. I really am not someone that's like wearing Rolexes and driving nice cars and all that kind of stuff. I mean, the idea of spending £300 on a ticket to go and see a band is like, no. I'm not doing it. So I was like, no, I ain't paying that. I don't know if my brother would have gone or not. I think he was disappointed that the price had gone up so drastically. I don't know if he would have still gone or not, but I felt sorry for him because he never went and saw them live. I think he would like to see them live. And, well, clearly he's still been talking about it and he's managed to get some tickets, so I'm pleased for him, honestly. I'm pleased for him more than anything else that he'll get a chance to see them. It'll be good to see them. I'm looking forward to it. But if I had missed it, it would have been fine. I can't imagine they're going to be as good now as they were back in the day, And honestly, when I saw them, they were rubbish. They weren't very good at all. And that was 20 odd years ago. I can't imagine they've got better. So, I don't know. We'll have to see how it goes. But of course, that'll be fun. I'm not down on that at all, but it's just weird how it's all kind of out of my control. I don't feel like I'm in control of any of these things at the moment. You're a part-timer, said James. Yeah, that's how I feel, honestly. That's how I feel. Ben said, maybe it's just the universe telling you to get some sun and experience. Ben, maybe. Maybe it is that. I've definitely been thinking a bit more about, like, not doing less on the channel, but, like, maybe I need to get my laptop and start working upstairs a bit more. I don't think it's healthy. Not that I've felt any effects, but it's probably not healthy to, like, always be sat in a basement working away. I'm either streaming, and if I'm not streaming, I'm preparing games for member streams, or I'm compiling unseen. A lot of that stuff can be done not in a basement. So, I suppose, like, actually going upstairs and just being around the dog a bit more and seeing the sun, seeing outside a bit more, like, I don't know, it's weird. I don't feel like I need that, but yeah, I suppose in a way I suppose it's good. It must be good to not completely shut yourself off from the world, which I have done for a number of years, actually. It's one of those where you kind of look back and go, Psh, that's crazy. That's pretty crazy. I've been sat in a room just chatting with you guys for years and kind of actually shutting myself off from the real world in many ways. But yeah, maybe, Ben, maybe it is a sign that I need to get out a little bit more, but not to the expense of the channel. I'm certainly not looking for it to be at the expense of the channel. So, yeah, disruption is, I promise you, going to be kept to a minimum. But there has just been a couple of things that have popped up. Mayor Pete said, Clash in Paris next. Is there an Unseen coming soon? Yeah, I won't get a chance to do one today because, I mean, it's already coming up to 2:15. I need to do a member stream, which I missed, so I'm going to do that. So completely to go from zero, like not having an Unseen to compile an Unseen might be a bit too much to get done today. Certainly, you know, I mean, I've got a week's worth of stuff to catch up on, really. I mean, maybe I could get a little something out, but to be honest, it's probably best that I just catch up, get myself ready for tomorrow, and then just do a proper episode tomorrow rather than, you know, putting something out that might not be 100%, might be 50% or something like that. So, yeah, I've missed Unseen. I love doing them. Obviously, the folder issue is annoying. Trying to find a workaround for that. I have set up Blue Sky. And there is a little kind of add-on that you can do where you can have bookmarks on Blue Sky and use save things into folders on Blue Sky, which I've not actually done yet. I know it exists. I know I've signed up to Blue Sky. I know I've downloaded that piece of software, but I've not executed it and done it all yet. But I am looking for alternatives. Because honestly, if the folders go down again, I don't want that to be an excuse as to why we've not done an Unseen. So I'm just trying to find different ways of compiling. Metal Mama said about like using Discord, gave me this big breakdown on how to do it. The only thing with that is I don't really get how that would work because you would have to... I don't really get how that would work. You'd have to basically share, or you'd have to... Perhaps it would work. Perhaps like instead of hitting bookmark, you somehow share the tweet to Discord and then you'd have them all in one place and perhaps you could have different folders. Perhaps it would work. That is very out of my comfort zone. That is very, you know, got to look into, but don't know. Yeah, that's it. We'll find a way. We'll find a way. There's not a lot of content creators on Blue Sky, says Mayor Pete. I don't mind, honestly. I don't mind. I'm really, as long as there's news that's on there, there's not much that I need, really. When it comes to Unseen, the stuff that I kind of need from the community are the fun little bits. I don't really need the news, if I'm going to be honest, because I see it, you know. I mean, we all follow the same sort of accounts, you know, Fightful, Sean Rossap, Wrestle Purists, Elite Rockers, Fadeaway Media, Chan Man, like whoever it might be. Those kind of big wrestling X accounts. I've got them in a list. So, like, for me, I can easily go to those, get the news, compile that. That's absolutely fine. I think the stuff that the community brings is the things, the bits, the memes and bits for the fun folder, obviously for the community folder, you know, bits like that. That's what the community kind of really contributes. That might suffer a bit if ever we have to go onto Blue Sky, but hopefully there are, I'd imagine, some sort of wrestling news account that is on Blue Sky. You know, I'd imagine Fightful are on there. So if ever it went down, we should still be able to get the news and, you know, some reaction. I'd imagine there's some wrestling reaction on there. But yeah, I mean, it would be watered down. Of course it would. There wouldn't be the same variety as you would get on X. But that's why I don't think Blue Sky is going to be like a permanent fix. Blue Sky would be a, you know, folders are down, let's do this for a couple of days. and we'll get back to X as soon as X is back. So I agree with you. Not a permanent solution. Big Time said, Daze, watching NXT with the live stream is tough. I'm still able to watch the show, but I do enjoy popping into those streams during commercials. Oh, watching it without the streams? Well, that's very kind. Honestly, I appreciate that. I mean, obviously, it's nice to know that we contribute something. So, yeah, I honestly, I mean, it's kind of been amazing for me where I've been away for a week and, because the shows are on late and because, going out, having some food, and one day we went to Haggadah and just, I don't know, life took over. It's interesting that I was not able to catch up on NXT or Evolve. So it was very interesting to kind of really experience being a bit of a casual, I suppose. I mean, I watched SmackDown and Raw, and that was it. I watched SmackDown, I watched Raw, and I did not watch NXT, I did not watch Evolve. I didn't massively keep up with wrestling news. So I felt so disconnected that I suppose, having an unseen that can basically catch me up with what's happened that day, I see the value in that. And actually, I saw the value in that when I went to Florida and I had the same experience. I was out all day and I missed out on things. And a video like Unseen, I think, I know there's other channels that do it. I know there's other channels that do that kind of news roundup, but I have no idea how they present it in regards to what we do with a fun folder, a community folder, all those kind of things. I think we've found a groove. I think we found a sweet spot that people like and enjoy. And yeah, it's obviously, I think people have missed the streams, but Unseen has definitely been one people have been asking for. So it's lovely to honestly have something like that people enjoy. And I am very much looking forward to bringing it back. So yeah, we will be returning it very, very soon. It'll be back. Probably not tonight, honestly, because I need to get this member stream done. But it'll probably be back tomorrow. Yeah, that soon. I watch the promotions and wrestling dirt sheets. I give watch-alongs a try, and it does make the experience better, says Nathan. Well, that's good. That's good. There's lots of people that don't kind of get watch-alongs. Why would you watch along? Just watch the show. I understand that. I think there's different ways of using it. We always start hours before. Some people join us just for those hours, and then they go when the show starts. Some people will watch the show, just jump in during the commercial breaks. Some people aren't really bothered by the commentary, and they maybe are newer to wrestling. They want to understand a bit more of the kind of backstory, or they've got some more specific questions, or there's things they're wondering that, obviously they can't quite find the answers to. They could, but it would be a bit of searching. Whereas it's easier to just jump on and ask the community a question like, how long has that person been a face, or how long have they been a heel, or where is this going, or has anyone got any thoughts on this? And so, it's one of those, isn't it, where if you're sat on your own, and you have to remember there's a lot of people that have to watch wrestling on their own, even if they're in a relationship, their partner might not be interested, and they want to express their opinions, they want to be heard. And, you can put a tweet on X and get no responses and limited views. And, maybe it doesn't scratch that itch. Whereas here you can put it in the chat and have other community members respond. And hopefully if I catch it, I might read it out. We might discuss it. But this is where the community plays a big part. This is where you lot play a big part. Talking amongst yourselves, talking with each other, throwing theories around, all that stuff. I really do encourage that, because, I can't get to everything. I can hardly get to 5% of what gets written. But I think, people want their voice to be heard. They want to get their points across. And I really do understand that. That's why, whilst I was away, I didn't shut down opinion videos, because I feel like that's a way for people to be heard and get their points over in those opinion videos. I think those opinion videos, I think they're important in the sense of it's a good little snapshot of what did you think about the show, because people don't watch full streams, right? Not everyone watches a full stream. So, you know, what did you think about this? What did you think about that? It's, you know, a little 20-minute package where we can really get across how we thought and what we thought about these different segments, and also a way of getting people their voices heard. So, you know, I think that those videos are important as well, which is why I made sure they didn't stop. So, yeah, lots of positives, lots of fun things that we do and will continue to do and continue to grow. And we should be back to normal very, very soon. NXT did 729, and 2 weeks ago it did 726. They have got momentum, says Big Time. Right. What's the next nation you want to visit after Egypt, says Ben. I don't have one, honestly. I wouldn't have gone to Egypt if it weren't for my dad. I'm just not someone that cares for... I'm not a traveller. I'm not someone that needs to see things. I'm quite satisfied with watching them on TV, which might sound really sad, but honestly, like, I think I got that out my system. You know, when I was young, I went to America a few times with my mates and loved it. Really had a great time. And I've been, like, to Egypt in the past and done the pyramids. So, you know, I've had those experiences. I've never done like Japan or China or Australia or Africa or outside of Egypt. And I've done a few European countries, you know. So I feel like I've done a bit of traveling. I'm not the most well-traveled person, but I think considering my dad's generation that might have gone abroad once when they were young, you know, and my grandparents' generation that probably hardly ever went abroad unless there was a war or something like that, you know. I mean, like, it's crazy how much we travel now compared to past generations. So for me, I feel like I've been to America quite a few times. I've been to places in Europe. I did the pyramids, saw those. I'm honestly very satisfied. I'm very satisfied. I don't have an itch that needs... I don't need to find myself. That's sometimes people go to broaden their mind and expand their thinking and to find themselves and all of that. And I feel like I've done that a different way. I feel like I know who I am. I know my strengths. I know my weaknesses. I know, you know, what I want from life. I don't need traveling for that. And, you know, it's fun to try different foods and experience different cultures. I understand all of that, but... equally, I would rather spend that time investing it into this channel, into this community, rather than spending it like doing that. I'd rather spend it doing this. So, yeah, no, I genuinely don't have an ambition to kind of go anywhere. I would like to go to WWE Worlds. I've always said that's something I would love to do. So that's, I suppose, on the bucket list. Yeah, I don't know. I wouldn't hate going to Vegas. Give it a look. I'm not a big casino person, but I would definitely do that. I think, to be honest, like, if I got in a relationship, then, you know, and like a partner wanted to go somewhere, I'd be open to that. If they were like desperate to go away, I would obviously do that. But it's not something I would be interested in. So, yeah, no, I'm a bit boring in that regards, but that's my honest answer. But there was another question that I saw, which I was going to just touch on. It's past now. I do need to go and do this member stream. I've already flipping upset the members. James said, you're half an hour late to members. They're probably whining. Well, hopefully most of here are aware that we're here. But yes, I'm going to use that as the excuse to leave. I appreciate that there's going to be quite a few questions from people like, oh, how was Egypt? How did this go? What's next? Like, love these questions, because talking about the channel, talking about wrestling, talking about whatever you want to talk about, I am here for it, right? But we do need to wrap this up because I do need to go and see the members now. I am back tomorrow, though. I'll be back tomorrow with another member stream, and I won't sleep through this one. And I am back for the Wrestling Escape Pods, where we can really dig into maybe a bit more of the non-wrestling stuff. But then, of course, we're back on Friday with... I'll do 2 SmackDown streams. Quite happy to do that. Did it during the European tour. Happy to do it again. So, yeah, we'll accommodate that for... I can't remember how I watched, though. How did I watch the show? Didn't I find some questionable way of watching? And oh, God, wasn't it all a bit messy? I can't even remember how I watched USA Network. How did I do that? How did I do that? I have to think about that. I can't remember. I can't remember how I was watching the show at the same time and watching the American coverage. Did I just watch... I think I just watched the replay, didn't I, on Netflix? I think I just watched the replay, and then whenever we went to commercial break, you guys said, right, we're at commercial. I mean, the thing about WWE is you can normally tell when you're going to commercial. They'll do a suicide dive or something like that and look to the camera, and you sort of know that's the commercial spot. So then I think there was just a bit of like pausing and restart. I think it was a bit of a nightmare, but I think people understood that we were doing the best we could, you know? So in the situation, so yeah, I'll do 2, and it'll probably be a bit messy for the American one, but okay, lovely. Thanks a lot for joining. Appreciate it as always. I'm going to run away and go to the members now, but yeah, thanks for joining us. Really appreciate it. It's lovely to be back, and we are back. I am back home. Everything's good, and we will be back to our normal schedule. But yeah, tomorrow member stream, Wrestling Escape Pods. Saturday 2 SmackDown streams, including a kickoff show, and Saturday Night of Champions. So lots coming up, straight back into the fire. So thanks for watching, thanks for joining, appreciate it as always. I'll see you again next time. Bye for now.